Well, I first saw this and thought, I might be able to leave this alone, but I can't. I'm sorry, I just can't. So today, we're going to be reacting to the definitely not dishonest, misleading, or possibly even sponsored piece from CNBS with the title, Why Mercedes Has a Better Driver Assist System Than Tesla's Autopilot. I note that is the Con Job Distorts logo appearing to be on a test track. Now, at some point during this video, I may or may not put on my tinfoil hat and hypothesize in a conspiratorial manner as to why this video even exists. But I do just quickly want to refresh the memory of anybody who's new here or isn't a regular viewer. A few years ago, Consumer Reports literally created a step-by-step tutorial showing consumers a very convoluted means of tricking Tesla's driver monitoring system into thinking you were driving the vehicle and paying attention when you were not. A literal step-by-step tutorial to put the lives of other users on the roads, in vehicles and pedestrians in danger. This from these fucking morons who claim to be providing information to consumers to help them make informed decisions about products. A step-by-step tutorial to put people's lives at risk. Now, you have to ask yourself, why would they do that? And the answer, of course, is, I totally don't know. But if I were to put on my tinfoil hat for a moment, the actual answer would be, well, obviously, Tesla spends no money advertising in the hate stream media. All legacy automotive companies do. And Tesla's currently in the process of slowly bankrupting all the legacy automotive companies. And therefore, it might be possible that Con Job Distorts will be very upset if all of these legacy automotive companies go bankrupt. Therefore, their job is to paint Tesla and their vehicles in the most negative light possible. Anyway, I'm going to remove my tinfoil hat now. I just wanted to remind you guys where this abominable stain of an organization was the last time I covered them. And I also have to wonder, hang on, why would a CNBS video with this clearly deceptive title claiming that Mercedes has better driver assist than Tesla, why would a CNBS video open with a Con Job Distorts test track unless these two entities possibly together also just seem to have it in for Tesla? Again, it's got nothing to do with the fact that Tesla's bankrupting legacy automotive companies or that Tesla doesn't spend billions of dollars advertising in the legacy media. Total coincidence. Definitely not a hit job, not a coordinated attack on the company, and definitely going to be completely unbiased. So let's watch this extremely unbiased video and see how Con Job Distorts via the CNBS platform explains to consumers, in short, Mercedes better than Tesla.
Okay,
Let's do this.
we're gonna drive.
Oh, wow.
Tesla has hyped up its autopilot and full self-driving systems quite a bit.
Wait. Before we get any further, the title of this video, Mercedes has a better driver assist than Autopilot, but the intro of the video mentions Autopilot and FSD almost as if they're the same thing. But the video isn't talking about FSD. Surely this isn't a attempt at deception to fool people watching this. I mean, probably easily fooled if you're watching CNBS, to be honest, into thinking that Autopilot and FSD are essentially the same thing. I mean, if I didn't know any better, based on the title, I think this might be a bit of a setup. I suspect possibly Con Job Distorts, colluding with CNBS, are attempting to trick consumers into thinking that the best driver assist technology on the planet is in a Mercedes. And I've got a funny feeling they're not going to be testing FSD supervised, are they? I mean, look at the fucking title. Is this an attempt at brazen manipulation? Obviously it is, but anyway, let's continue. I thought I'd pick that up early. I know exactly where this is going now. Again, this is from the same fuckfaces who literally told people how to defeat Tesla's driver monitoring system. Deception and dishonesty is in their DNA.
It's not nearly as good as what you might think it is.
Tesla's driver assist.
Wait. Hang on. Let me just rewind. Did I just hear what I think I heard? Is this totally unbiased woman claiming that Tesla's Autopilot is not as good as we think, or FSD? Because we just heard from the intro, Tesla's hyped up their Autopilot and FSD, and then seconds later she's saying it's not as good as we think. God damn, this is going to be a long fucking video if I keep pointing things out. But bro, let me just see. What exactly did we just hear? This seems like a pretty brazen attempt at manipulating and deceiving general public. Let's listen closely to how this is structured and what exactly is said.
Tesla has hyped up its autopilot and full self-driving systems quite a bit.
It's not nearly as good as what you might think it is.
Yeah, so can confirm, hit job, 100%. They've intentionally edited a special clip, probably going to appear later in the video, right? Intro, Autopilot and FSD, which Tesla's hyped up a lot. Immediately following that, we have a quote from this supposed expert claiming that which, Autopilot or FSD, it's not as good as you think. Huh? Bro, I mean, we're, 11 seconds in? God damn it. Oh, by the way, I can see a list. I can see this fading in. It's probably top ranked driver assist systems or something like that. Ford Link. You know what this is going to look like. If we were to correlate, I'm not going to bother, but feel free if you want to do some homework. I know exactly what's happening here. This is going to be a 1 through 10. And this is almost perfectly going to represent the number of advertising dollars spent in the United States per automaker. I mean, as opposed to the actual quality of their products. I see this coming from a mile away.
Tesla's driver assistance system ranked 8th on a list by Consumer Reports.
Okay, sorry, stop. So obviously, I'm going to call it. Just go look at ad spend and the correlation. But hang on a sec. Can somebody please explain to me why Tesla Autopilot / Full Self-Driving Supervisor are listed as the same thing? They're totally independent, unless they're trying to pretend that Autopilot and FSD are the same thing. This is, again, an incredible attempt at brazen manipulation. If they were being fair, these would be listed completely separately. They have totally different capabilities. Ironically, just a couple of days ago, Ford CEO Jim Farley admitting on a Ford earnings call, in essence, Blue Cruise sucks shit and they're considering licensing technology from another company. They literally use the term full self-driving too. Now, hang on a minute. Why would the CEO of the fucking company whose product is listed as number one for driver assist be openly admitting on their earnings call a couple of days ago that the very product that Conjob Distorts claims is number one sucks shit and they're strongly considering licensing FSD from another company? Unless Conjob Distorts is extremely corrupt and knows who butters their bread. Hang on, Ford. Why Ford? Hang on. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're going to do it. Man, this is going to be a long fucking video. So, I'm on the Conjob Distorts website. They boldly claim at the very top, influence-free. They claim. Now, if you're a regular viewer, you may have seen me go through this exercise in the past. A few years ago, I discovered some interesting connections and put on my tinfoil hat and hypothesized a little. I may, in fact, even have suggested that they were anything but influence-free. In fact, there may have even been people currently on the board and or working in Conjob Distorts who were previously from legacy automotive companies. There may even have been some philanthropic partners with ties to legacy automotive companies. Even though, of course, they would claim there's no actual connection, you do have to wonder, could this sway coverage? So let's go do some digging. First of all, what is the mission of Consumer Reports? Our mission, Conjob Distorts, is an independent, non-profit member organisation that works side by side with consumers for truth, transparency, and fairness in the marketplace. And so again, Ford CEO a couple of days ago, Blue Cruise kind of sucks dick, and we're probably going to license FSD from another company. And a second ago, we see the list of their top-ranked driver assist systems, and Ford's number one, and Tesla's what, number 7 or 8? Oops. So I've just clicked on our partners, and I note again, Consumer Reports operates free of influence from outside organisations or companies, they claim. And they've also forgotten to scrub their DI page on the website. Awkward. Guaranteed this will disappear within 12 months, maybe 18 at most. So now I'm looking at our partners. You guys remember me going through this exercise in the past, right? It's kind of worth doing again. The last time I looked here, I found ties to both Ford and GM, of course, totally unrelated entities. Let's see if we can find those here. GM. That's weird. Surely they haven't made some changes here. Let's look up Ford. Ooh, now this is interesting. Okay. You ever catch someone with their hand in the cookie jar? This is fascinating. God, what a detour. So you guys can see here, I've searched for Ford. Appears twice on this page. And the only times Ford appears is in this footnote, which literally says, as the Ford Foundation says on its website, it is not connected to the Ford Motor Company. They are two separate and legally unrelated entities. So hang on. Why do they have a footnote on their philanthropic partnerships page about the Ford Foundation, but no actual mention of the Ford Foundation? Because last time I went through this very exercise, the Ford Foundation was listed as one of their key philanthropic partners. Unless, maybe miraculously, somebody at Conjob Distorts heard about some guy on the internet pointing out these totally unrelated connections and said, oh, gee, that doesn't look very good, does it? Since Ford keeps ranking as number one on all our shit, maybe we should just delete Ford from our philanthropic partners thing. And they forgot to get rid of the footnote. I mean, bro, you cannot make this up. There's no mention of Ford here. I'm on the philanthropic partnerships page, right? No Ford, except in the fucking footnote. Please tell me, does anyone have a reasonable explanation as to why there's a footnote mentioning the Ford Foundation twice, Ford plus Ford Motor Company, right? Trying to say they're not connected, they're totally unrelated entities, but on the actual page, there's no mention of the Ford Foundation. I mean, boy, oh boy, I think that Conjob Distorts may, I'm just totally joking by the way, tinfoil hat alert, be attempting to cover their tracks. Because the last time we went through this exercise, there was a foundation founded by the guy who started General Motors, if I recall correctly. I mean, I can't remember. I wish Conjob Distorts still had the info so I could fact check, but I can't, just going from memory. And also Ford Foundation, I said, of course, there's totally no reason that this would cause any bias whatsoever. I'm just totally curious as to their partners. And now they're not here. Huh. How curious. I mean, bro, right now, I don't know how long until they'll fix this, by the way. They're going to get rid of this. I guarantee at some point, this video is going to get back to them. This is going to disappear, the footnote, or the Ford Foundation is going to come back. You guys check it out now. You go to Conjob Distorts, their website. We're on the About Us section under Our Partners, and we're under Philanthropic Partnerships. That's the page right here. Reload it right now. You guys can see in real time. Awkward. And now back to this extremely unbiased ranking of driver assist systems that somehow conflates and combines autopilot and FSD. Ranking number 8, Ford number 1, and what do you know? Chevrolet, GMC, Cadillac, aka General Motors, GM, driver assist. Also, last time I did digging for Philanthropic Partners, I found ties to the guy who founded GM starting something. What a coincidence. Ford and GM number 1 and 2. For the record, little note down the bottom here. This list was from Conjob Distorts October, wait a minute, 2023? Hang on a fucking minute. This video is from the 4th of February, 2025. Oh, hey, look at that deceptive hashtag too. The hashtag full self-driving is used even though this video is actually comparing autopilot, not FSD. Boy, the plot thickens. So they're using a list from October 2023. Hang on, so I'm not very good at math, but 2023, that wasn't last year because last year was 2024 and this year's 2025. I guess that's the latest available list they had from Conjob Distorts. Kind of weird. Anyway, back into this totally not a hit piece.
Mercedes, Ford, and GM were all rated higher.
The big difference that you'll notice is the inability to steer within your lane and collaborate with the steering in the Tesla. It wants us to apply steering wheel torque occasionally, but the problem is that when I do that, it turns the system on.
Jesus fuck, dude. This is going to be the longest video of all time. I'm going to have to cut so much stuff out. We are like 33 seconds in and I can't... Did you notice this? Okay. The way that this works, and again, autopilot is not FSD, yet they're trying to claim they're the same thing and mislead people. Did you notice how violently this woman yanked the steering wheel? The way the driver monitoring works, right? You just have a tiny bit of torque on the wheel. The gentlest caress. She violently yanked the wheel, intentionally disengaging the system, making it look like you accidentally disengaged the system by having your hands on the wheel. Anyone who's ever driven a Tesla or even watched somebody driving a Tesla, you literally just need the fraction of a fraction of a fraction, the slightest touch on the wheel and it knows your hand's there. Intentional deception. Trying to fool people into thinking that you accidentally disengage this software by keeping your hands on the wheel. Watch this. It's fucking disgraceful.
In the Tesla. It wants us to apply steering wheel torque occasionally, but the problem is that when I do that...
This is unfucking believable, dude. How many lies, how much deception have we already seen in the first 30 or so seconds? I've lost count.
It turns the system off, right?
CNBC went to Consumer Reports' new $1 million specialized test track in Connecticut to see why they think some automakers are doing driver assistance tech better than others.
So here we test all of the aspects of the vehicle, more than 50 different tests. What we don't do is crash test our cars. We actually try really hard to not crash our cars.
Yeah, good one, you lying fuck. Or are we just going to pretend Conjob Distorts didn't create a step-by-step tutorial for getting around Tesla's driver monitoring system and publish this, literally showing people how to trick the vehicle into thinking you were paying attention when you weren't? Or are we just going to pretend that they literally didn't make a tutorial showing people how to get in a crash? What? Oh, but it doesn't count because it's Tesla and Tesla's not a legacy auto company. They don't spend shit tons of money advertising and therefore Tesla bad. Bro, I can't even.
Funkhauser, the Associate Director of Vehicle Technology at Consumer Reports, an independent group which tests and ranks products, including cars, and the tech on them. Advanced Driver Assistance Systems, or ADAS, refers to a set of features that automate or assist aspects of driving that drivers would otherwise have to do themselves.
So, call me crazy, but does that not describe Tesla's FSD supervised? Does a bunch of things that, if it wasn't enabled, the driver would have to do themselves? No, that's exactly what it describes. So then why the fuck are Conjob Distorts and CNBS only testing Tesla Autopilot when FSD is a much more advanced and capable version of driver assist system? Unless they're trying to trick people into thinking that companies that spend all the money advertising and the whole are much better than Tesla, which they definitely wouldn't be doing because that would be corrupt and extremely dishonest and totally out of character for Conjob Storts.
ADAS systems are different from true self-driving cars. Another term Consumer Reports uses is active driver assistance, which refers to a combination of specific features, lane centering and adaptive cruise control.
Okay, well, this is a luxe experience.
I know, right?
Today, we got to test one of their highest rated cars, the Mercedes EQE 350 SUV, to see why it was rated higher than the Tesla Model 3.
If it can't see
And obviously, the reason it's rated higher than Tesla's Model 3 wouldn't have anything to do with ad spend from Mercedes versus Tesla. Because again, that would be corrupt, biased, and dishonest. It's obviously actually just technologically superior, and I look forward to seeing why.
enough of the road, then it doesn't know where to center you within the lane.
ADAS and self-driving cars are becoming huge, ever more important topics in the auto industry for car makers, consumers, investors, and regulators. But these concepts can be confusing and aren't that well understood. The Society of Automotive Engineers breaks ADAS systems down like this. There are 6 levels of automation, from just the
Yawn, skipping ahead, no one fucking cares, just show us the technology and please explain to us in more detail why every company that isn't Tesla has a better driver assist system than Tesla.
systems in Consumer Reports' list are all level 2.
Okay, this obstacle we're looking, what's it gonna do? Okay, what it did is it very confidently picked the left lane and maintained it. Some of the other systems inconsistently decide which one they're gonna go into.
What Kelly is describing is a feature on Tesla's autopilot system that can actually keep you on course automatically, even by changing lanes or making turns if needed. Consumer Reports will test a feature like that over and over and over again to see if it ever fails. It is important to note that you might have to pay for these extra features, either
Hold up. Autopilot's included for free with every Tesla vehicle, and they were just featuring a Tesla on autopilot explaining how it... Surely they're not trying to trick people once again into thinking that you'll have to pay for Tesla autopilot features, because that entire top 10 list we just saw, as far as I know, Tesla's the only company that includes autopilot for free. The rest of them you literally do have to pay. But are they going to point out that this is free with every Tesla? It's included with every Tesla? Because that would be the fair thing to do. They've just shown a Tesla, they're testing a Tesla, they're explaining how the Tesla performs, but it's important to note that you may have to pay for these features. Surely not. Again, not another brazen distortion of reality, right?
by adding them as options or paying for subscriptions.
And there you have it. Another intentional deception. I mean, totally unbiased comment that isn't trying to paint Tesla in a negative light. Just to be ultra clear, since Conjob Distorts weren't, autopilot comes standard on every new Tesla. If you buy a Tesla vehicle, autopilot is included. You don't have to pay extra. It comes standard.
Consumer Reports ranks the Mercedes ahead of the Model 3 because it does some things that the Tesla doesn't. First, driver collaboration. If the driver needs to take control of the wheel for a moment to steer around a pothole, for example, the Mercedes system allows you to do that.
The system is on, but I'm able to do this freely and very smoothly. And the collaboration is really, really important because, as you saw in the Tesla, that system doesn't allow for the driver to collaborate or override the steering.
The Mercedes also...
Wait. I just need to get my head around this. What the fuck does collaboration mean? It means that the driver assist system remains engaged, yet you can override it by steering, but it doesn't disengage the system? Call me crazy, but is that not a recipe for disaster? If somebody's confused as to whether or not the system's still operating, Tesla, you disengage, you take over, and it automatically disengages, and it makes an audio cue as well. You can hear, okay, it's disengaged. Seems safe. Okay, I need to take over now. When it's safe to let the system continue, you just turn it back on. What the fuck is this collaboration shit? That doesn't even make sense. I'm trying to understand how... What if you think the system's still driving when it's not? Yeah, this is a recipe for disaster. Bro, what a stupid idea. What do you mean collaborate? It's either doing the driving for you or you are. Dude, they're asking for trouble with that.
also executes exceptionally well. Even the things the Model 3 can do, the EQE can do better.
This is the highest performer for lane centering and as well as adaptive cruise control. This one is much smoother than the Tesla.
Third,
I'd love to know how they measured smoothness and better lane keeping. I'd also love to know, again, why they're claiming, the words there, the EQS, is much better than the Tesla system. They are once again comparing software, not the actual hardware, the vehicle. And they've intentionally selected Tesla's autopilot as opposed to FSD supervised. And now they're claiming that the Mercedes is better than the Tesla, as opposed to the best the Mercedes has to offer in terms of software is, quote, better than Tesla's free standard autopilot that comes as a standard feature on every new Tesla vehicle, not the FSD, which is vastly superior, which we intentionally chose not to test because it's way better.
There is a display right in front of the driver, whereas the Tesla has just the screen in the dash.
You got to put that information within the field of view of the drivers, versus in the Tesla, you have to dry your eyes off of the road and look for it here rather than doing a quick glance back and forth.
To be clear, Tesla is not that far behind rivals.
Man, for a sec, I thought they were going to say, to be clear, Tesla has FSD supervised, which is light years ahead of it. But hey, this is the part where Conjob Distorts pretends they're not extremely biased against Tesla, forces themselves to say some potentially slightly positive things about Tesla, admits that Tesla on some particular situations may even be slightly better, but then goes back to say, but overall the Mercedes and the Ford and everything else is way better than Tesla.
In terms of the capabilities, it's among the top. Mercedes does beat it out just a little bit, but it's in the league with BMW and others. So if you are looking for a high performer, Tesla's up there.
Tesla has 2 ADAS modes that each work in different contexts: autopilot and what it calls full self-driving.
Wow, dude, they have actually mentioned FSD, but conveniently aren't actually testing it.
Autopilot works on the highway, and it does things Mercedes and many other brands can also do, such as automatically change lanes, follow a route plugged into a navigation system, or pass slower traffic. But Tesla's so-called full self-driving mode can also automatically take turns on city streets and stop at traffic lights, something other systems can't do.
So why the fuck aren't you testing it then? Oh, wait, I know, because they want to make it like Tesla's inferior. This is crazy. Is this their way of trying to avoid a lawsuit? Well, we'll mention FSD briefly and say it's actually way more capable than the system we're trying to compare it against, but we won't actually test it because then our narrative collapses as to why Mercedes has a vastly superior advanced driver system. This is a massive own goal. They're admitting in their own video now, Tesla has 2 driver assist systems, but we're testing the least capable of them against Mercedes. So we can say that Mercedes has a better advanced driver assist. And again, remember that list of Conjob Distorts from 2023? Remember this? These fucks combine autopilot and FSD supervised as if they're the same thing, ranking them as if they're the same thing with the same capabilities, while in the same video admitting that FSD supervised is vastly more capable than autopilot. So why are they combined, and why are you ranking it based on autopilot, not FSD? Unless, of course, you're trying to distort reality and paint a narrative.
If you have a route or a destination programmed into the system, it'll know when you need to take your exit. It has the ability to change lanes for you and get you, to your destination.
So those are the most advanced features. Stoplights and
Being able to take turns,
navigate city streets, which is the feature they call full self-driving.
Correct, yep.
In addition, some of Mercedes' advantages, such as driver collaboration, can be found on other brands. And Tesla is not the only automaker that is missing it. GM's Super Cruise system, for example.
I love how they're trying to frame this retarded design decision, collaboration, also known as confusion and a potential accident waiting to happen, as a missing feature. Oh, fuck. And how seamlessly they lie and manipulate reality. They've obviously gone, well, we have to at least mention FSD, otherwise some guy with 3 first names on the internet is going to absolutely fucking eviscerate us again to the point we're going to have to go and scrub more information off our website, otherwise our biases will be exposed even further. Just kidding, tinfoil hat alert. I'm just hallucinating. Do they not understand how obvious it is to anyone with half a fucking brain cell watching this? They've just admitted FSD has vastly more capabilities than autopilot. It's vastly superior to autopilot, yet we're going to tell you that the best driver assist system is on a Mercedes, not a Tesla. This is truly incredible.
Doesn't have that collaborative aspect either. And there is at least one key piece of tech that both the Tesla and the Mercedes lack, albeit in different ways: an effective driver monitoring camera.
On the steering wheel column here, you can see that little bump. That's the infrared driver monitoring camera that has the ability to detect if the driver's eyes are open and if they're looking at the roadway.
Funkhauser.
Okay, currently on the Tesla Model Y owner's manual website under cabin camera. The cabin camera can determine driver inattentiveness and provide you with audible alerts to remind you to keep your eyes on the road when autopilot is engaged. More information just for the privacy freaks. By default, images and video from the camera do not leave the vehicle itself and are not transmitted to anyone, including Tesla. unless you enable data sharing. Now, in fairness, it is true that not every single Tesla ever produced has a cabin camera. That's the magic of being able to update software over the air. You can have an older vehicle that doesn't have that hardware with the latest versions of the software. But surely, if Consumer Reports was being honest, they would mention not every single Tesla on roads has a cabin camera, but many do. And those that do use that for driver monitoring, and those that don't, of course, you still need to talk to the steering wheel. That'd be the honest way to present this. There's a lot of people real fucking mad that they can't use the latest features on their Tesla vehicles if they've taped up their camera. Anyway, back to this totally unbiased video.
User says that driver monitoring camera is essential. Both the top-rated systems, Ford's Blue Cruise and GM Super Cruise, have it. Other manufacturers have them too.
So in the Tesla, there is a camera that is looking at the interior of the car. We actually have this piece of tape here because we can cover that and the system will still work.
Oh, hey, it's me again. Just wanted to provide some additional context. We're currently on the Tesla Model Y Owner's Manual page under Full Self-Driving Supervised, not Autopilot, which Conjob Distorts is currently testing. And what do we see here? Driver attentiveness. Like other autopilot features, Full Self-Driving Supervised requires that the driver pay attention to the road, their surroundings, and other road users. The cabin camera, which apparently Conjob Distorts claims doesn't even exist, monitors continued driver attentiveness when Full Self-Driving Supervised is engaged. This system cannot be disabled. The cabin camera does not require full visibility of the driver's eyes in order to monitor attentiveness. The system is still active, for example, if the driver is wearing sunglasses. If the cabin camera does not have clear visibility of the driver's hand and arm locations, Full Self-Driving Supervised periodically displays a message reminding the driver to apply slight force to the steering wheel, and a bunch more bullshit about the camera actively monitoring the driver. Additionally, if the driver repeatedly ignores prompts to apply slight force to the steering wheel or to pay attention, so we've got overlapping driver monitoring here, cabin camera looking at your eyes, and if you can't see your eyes, you also need to have torque on the steering wheel, doubling up. If you do neither of these things and it nags you, hey motherfucker, pay attention to the road and or torque on the wheel, Full Self-Driving Supervised displays a series of escalating warnings, and if those warnings are ignored, disables for the rest of the drive and displays the following message. Hey fuckface, you weren't paying attention, no more autopilot for you, dickhead. Furthermore, if you continue to fuck around, you will find out you can have a 7-day ban by ignoring these nags. And now, back to Conjob Distorts, trying to confuse their gullible viewers into thinking that autopilot and FSD supervised are the same thing and that you can somehow completely get around any form of driver monitoring whatsoever, after we've just read the manual on Tesla's website.
Okay, so you just covered the camera with
the
electrical tape.
And the system is still doing exactly what it was doing before.
The Mercedes doesn't have a driver monitoring camera at all.
If it were to have that, it would easily be number one.
Really?
Easily,
So
yep.
if this had a driver monitoring camera in it, it would be your number one. But the fact that it doesn't puts it behind the GM system and the Ford system.
Wait a sec. Am I hallucinating? No, I'm not hallucinating. The top-ranked active driver assistance systems, as featured in this video published just a couple of days ago, although the information itself was from 2023, did not have GM as number one, or Tesla as number one, or BMW as number one, or Toyota as number one. It had Ford as number one, GM as number two, Mercedes as number three. And why? Because apparently the Mercedes doesn't have a camera to monitor the driver, but if it did, it would miraculously jump from number 3 to number 1. So then, by that same logic, wouldn't a Tesla autopilot system with driver monitoring magically then jump from number 8 to number 5 just based on a camera alone? Seems logically inconsistent.
Exactly.
Both the EQE and the Model 3 use sensors in the steering wheel to determine whether someone is gripping it. That is imperfect for a few reasons.
I could also be asleep like this, right?
Second, the system might not alert a driver to put hands on the wheel in time to avoid danger.
So
again, we just looked at the fucking website, Tesla website, about active monitoring and the nag. The two systems, if there's a camera, it's also looking at your eyes, and if there's not, you need torque on the wheel, and the system will nag you, and then disable autopilot if you don't respond. Seems dishonest to me.
not only is our camera covered, so we could be asleep or distracted, my hands aren't on the wheel. And it is... And this is why we also look for consistency, right?
There was a car right up that, yeah.
It wanted to, yeah, we were going to go head on into that car, so that would have been really bad.
Hold up. Outrageous. Previously, they showed earlier in this video this same turn, right? And they said the Tesla vehicle consistently went the same way, took the left lane, right? Every single time, whereas some of the other systems picked and chose, right? This time, however, they've set things up so there's a vehicle driving head on where the Tesla would normally go. The autopilot system is engaged. Dawn, with autopilot engaged, momentarily takes her hands off the wheel. You can't leave them off for too long before it nags, and then disables the system if you don't touch it. And then claims that the Tesla would have had a head on if only I wasn't driving on its behalf. But the autopilot was engaged the whole fucking time. The Tesla vehicle saw this, made a different decision, avoided a head on, and they've just framed it as if, while she's literally saying, hey, I'm not even touching the system and the camera's covered, oh look, oh no, dangerous, while she's intentionally not intervening, that the Tesla could have had a head on if only I hadn't been paying attention and intervened. This is insane. Did this really happen? Surely fucking not. Surely fucking not.
Right.
Second, the system might not alert a driver to put hands on the wheel in time to avoid danger.
So not only is our camera covered, so we could...
Watch closely. Surely I didn't imagine this, right? This dickhead is intentionally... Camera's covered. They've only just covered it. Hands off the wheel. Again, momentarily. And while hands are off the wheel and the vehicle's on autopilot, she doesn't touch the wheel, but then they try and frame this as it's a good thing I was here to not touch the wheel, otherwise something bad could have happened. What the fuck? All right, maybe I imagine it. We just got to watch this closely. Just watch if she touches the wheel at all, or she's intentionally hands-free the entire time, and then they try and suggest that the Tesla would have had a head-on if only I hadn't been not touching the wheel. What?
be asleep or distracted. My hands aren't on the wheel. And it is...
Okay, so exactly. My hands are not on the wheel, and then we see this ooh-wee bullshit. The Tesla takes a different path. She's still not touching the wheel, or maybe she's only just... Now, let's listen to what this bitch says.
This is why we also look for consistency, right?
There was a car right up that, yeah.
They wanted to, yeah, we were going to go head on into that car, so that would have been...
She noticed, she says, it wanted to. We were going to go head on to into that car. Bro, you didn't touch the wheel, and... Oh, God damn it.
Been really bad.
In 2023, Mercedes announced it would begin offering a Level 3 system in some markets, including the US. Mercedes is marketing this as the first of its kind in the world. This car is not equipped with that system, and Consumer Reports hasn't tested it yet.
So with all Level 2 systems out there, the Tesla, the Mercedes, the driver needs to expect that the system is going to fail or stop immediately with no notice.
All right, hold up. This video, published a few days ago, is 2025. They're not even testing the latest version of the Mercedes software. Is that real life? Is this real life? What the fuck?
Level 3, they're supposed to notify the driver in advance.
Most of these basic features you can find on at least some cars offered by any brand.
Most of them aren't even on the highest trim anymore. Usually on the mainstream high volume model that we're purchasing for our test program, you're able to get those two features.
There are a lot of differences between each system, and each has its advantages. Even higher ranked ones, such as the one made by Mercedes, may lack features a lower ranked rival has.
Everyone's doing it slightly different. Over time,
Was that their way of saying that the number one ranked Mercedes system may lack features that, let's say, the much lower ranked Tesla system has?
we're going to see best practices, and most automakers are going to kind of design
Just had to quickly pause here and say, Test Driver has some solid taste in music.
and most automakers are going to kind of design their systems according to what is working best and what their customers are giving them feedback on that they like the best.
Holy fuck, dude. This might be the longest video of all time. But I'm not done. No. I know exactly what we got to do now. We got to look at some of the comments. Presuming CNBS aren't low-key deleting them all as fast as they come in. I've got a funny feeling this extremely unbiased piece may have some feedback along the lines of, you completely biased motherfuckers, what the fuck, why didn't you use FSD supervised? This makes no sense, this is dishonest, blah, blah, blah. I could be wrong, but when I'm not, I look forward to saying, I told you so. This is too dishonest not to get absolutely, ruthlessly destroyed in the comments. I'll leave them sorted by default, which is top ranked. Let's see what we find. Top rated posts. I've trusted ConJob Distorts for years. A lot of my big purchases have been their top picks. 3 different cars and a washer-dryer combo. All of them have had major issues over the years. After seeing this video, I now understand why this is the case. Consumer Reports doesn't know how to effectively test. Okay, cool story, yeah. Imagine that. Next one. Tesla FSD is a different product from Autopilot. Yeah, it's true. This needs to be clarified. Oh, but bro, if they clarified, then they wouldn't be able to mislead people, would they? The free Autopilot feature is indeed not the best. It does have a lot of limitations. However, I also have FSD in my Tesla, and I can report from my experience that it can do way more than any of its competitors. So I don't know what they're blah, blah, blah. Yeah, cool. Calling out the bullshit. A brief check of the comments tells me I can skip this highly misleading video. Yeah, I wish I'd skipped it, to be honest. You tested autopilot, not FSD. Not in the same ballpark. 30 seconds in, driver puts in way more effort than required. This is when this dickhead yanked the wheel and disengaged. Oops, it's so easy to accidentally disengage. This person gets it. This feedback can be very subtle and doesn't disable driver assistance. This lady should know this and is either qualified for this job or deliberately misleading viewers. Nailed it. I mean, I'm just kidding. They would never deliberately mislead anybody. This is a hit piece. Do better, CNBS. Shame on you. CNBS has lost its credibility. And with documentaries, in quotation marks, like this, makes it even worse. It is obvious that this is targeting Tesla and tries to discredit it. Indeed. This person goes on to say they've worked on many self-driving cars and tested a bunch of them. Cool story, bro. Yeah, we know. This is a hit piece. This whole video is literal media gaslighting. In the first scene, she knowingly jerks the wheel of a Tesla so hard it disengages autopilot. Yeah, I mean, bro, they can't hide. And by the way, these are the top ranked comments. I'm not selectively, they're just getting called out. The first 8, 9, 10 comments, this is a fucking hit piece. What a load of bullshit. I wasn't going to comment until I noticed that Tesla's 8th rank included FSD. Give me a break. I own a GM product with Super Cruise. It sucks compared to, I'm so angry I can't even talk. It sucks compared to FSD. It totally sucks. So this is a GM owner admitting that Super Cruise sucks fucking shit. Next comment. Why do I have a feeling this is a politically motivated video? The timing seems quite intended. Another one. How old is this? You can't cover Tesla's interior camera. It does driver monitoring like a hawk. Having Ford and GM be top ranked made the whole ranking a joke for me. Very misleading. My Tesla will drive from my garage to work without me even touching the wheel. It'll pick me up in a crowded parking lot just from my phone. Tesla is so far ahead of everyone else. GM's patty cake ad about their self-driving is a joke. Next comment. By the way, this is consecutive comments, right? At some point, there's got to be a deluded, Mercedes fan girl go, oh my God, Mercedes is better. Tesla shit. Fuck Elon. Nazi. But we haven't seen one yet. And this is on CNBS's own channel. I'm embarrassed for CNBS. This isn't 1998. People can verify this information and give feedback. You can't just lie to people and get away with it anymore with a laughing, crying emoji. Yeah. Another one. Several errors about this. One, some Tesla models do have a screen behind the steering wheel. So more bullshit. They're just pointing out that this is false. Oh, here we go. We finally got... Remember I was trolling about something Nazi? Here we go. This is true. My Tesla autopilot always seems to pull to the right. By the way, they're obviously just trolling, but still funny. Next one. Sets a driver, quote, is unable to take control of the steering wheel on autopilot. Is a dangerous, incorrect statement to make. Yeah, exactly. Because if you take over the steering wheel, it disengages autopilot, as opposed to this collaborative bullshit. And now we've got a crypto scam or, some other scam there as well. YouTube, fuck you guys. It's not that hard to deal with this shit. Next comment. This is unbelievable. Endlessly being called out. And one troll, he wasn't actually saying Elon bad, they were just making a funny joke about this whole thing. This video is so biased against Tesla, it's almost sickening. Clearly paid for by Mercedes or just insanely incompetent reporting. Anyone who spends a day in Mercedes versus a Tesla will always choose a Tesla. It's a no-brainer. Next one. Holy video for boomers. Kick rocks, CNBS. Unsubscribed. You cannot subscribe to ADAS on Tesla instead. Yeah, so again, the same shit. They're just saying that they're conflating autopilot FSD. Next one. A gross misrepresentation of Tesla FSD capabilities. Consumer Reports just lost all credibility when Miss Funk demonstrated the attention awareness by literally yanking the wheel so hard the car jerked. You only need to touch it. That's right, ladies. Gentle. Don't jerk it too hard. And that's for older cars. Anything newer than 2020 uses eye tracking now. I'm going to start powering through some more of these. I'm just going to scroll hard until we find some people at least believing this. Because it's just like, this is bullshit. This is fake. This is the most anti-Tesla Mercedes ad I've ever seen. Looks like a Mercedes advertisement. Stupid video. Super biased way against Tesla. Tesla doesn't require it. Blah, blah, blah. This just keeps going on and on. The amount of flat out lies in this video. Yeah, this is incredible. This report is insane. Again, these are from people who actually own Tesla vehicles. My Model Y can do this, blah, 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 da, 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 da. Keep going on and on and on and on and on. Absolute fucking hit job. Unbelievable stuff. This is just, I can't believe it, dude. So anyway, the moral of the story, Conjob Distorts is corrupt and biased. And they've also tried to cover their corruption and bias. I told you guys, we looked earlier in this video, right? What happened to all the listed names in the philanthropic partners? They used to have a list, and now they've just accidentally scrubbed the website but left a footnote about the Ford Foundation not being related at all to Ford. But what was number one for the driver assist again? Oh, totally unrelated. What a coincidence, even though the CEO of Ford himself saying it kind of sucks and they're going to license FSD from someone. A corrupt propaganda organisation. Nothing, they say, should ever be trusted. CNVS. Who butters their bread? Their major advertisers? Oh, that's right. Legacy automotive companies. Total coincidence. Not at all biased against Tesla. And anyone who disagrees with that statement probably has at least half a brain cell. Disgusting. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. Just got my AG1 in the mail. Legit feeling the effects after day 3. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? I mean, hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, or I can keep going. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs.